streets, man. Seen a lot of good people die, man. Real young, man.
I done been through hell and I felt the pain. I done seen the whole world go through a whole lot of change. I seen a mama watch a baby die just for getting high, and 20 minutes later go get high. I seen killers get justified, and all the while scratching my head, wonder how's it right. I seen some real good people die in the crossfire, or some men afraid of losing their pride. And it's pain in the burbs and pain in the streets, and it's war in the church, war in the east. And listen, half of us thirst while half of us feast. Instead of chasing this Hollywood pain, I seen so many cry, I seen so many die over nothing at all.
Greetings and welcome to another episode, and especially today's episode. It's a deeply reverent episode of Renegadez, Faith Fortitude. Today, we gather around to pay our respects and honor the legacy of Master Sergeant Joseph Elmer Estep. As well, we'll pay homage to another Marine, right? Staff Sergeant Donald Charles May Jr. Now, you might be asking, Pastor, why are we honoring Staff Sergeant May in an episode dedicated to Master Sergeant Estep? Well, see, to answer your question, when it comes to me, to speak of one, I must mention the other. Because, see, I met them both at the same exact time on a deployment in Rota, Spain. But we'll discuss that more later. Before we dive into today's episode, I would like to send a heartfelt thank you for all of you joining us today. And especially as we honor Master Sergeant Joseph Estep. Just a friendly reminder, if you would, please be so kind and smash that like and subscribe button for me. And don't forget to click that notification bell. That way you go ahead and get updated anytime I upload new content. Good to go? And please, I ask you to stick around until the end and watch the entire episode. We'll be having a short slideshow with pictures of Master Sergeant Joseph Estep and Staff Sergeant Donald May, along with the playing of taps as we honor their lives and their legacies. So, all right, picture this, right? It was March 1998, and I was a boot-ass PFC in the Marine Corps, private first class. And I wasn't even a month into the Fleet Marine Force. And so what happened was, a little backstory, right? One of our MPF ships, the MPF stands for Maritime Prepositioning Forces, right? So one of our MPF ships, the First Lieutenant Bobo, it ran ground in Rota, Spain, and ripped a big old hole at the bottom of the ship. So they had to go offload it and then send the Bobo to the shipyard to get fixed, right? So as they're patching up the hole, they had another ship, a temporary ship. They unloaded that, and so that's what was going on, right? So now let's fast forward a little bit, right? So now we're back to where we're at the beginning, right? So let me take you back to that moment that captures, especially a moment that captures the essence of Joe's character, right? So it was March 1998. I was a humble private first class, a boot POC, not even a month into the fleet. Right, the Fleet Marine Force. When I first crossed paths with Joe and Don during deployment to Rota, Spain. Prior to that, one of our MPF ships, Maritime Prepositioning Forces, at the time it ran ground and ripped a hole into the bottom of the ship. The First Lieutenant Bobo was the name of the ship, right? And it had been offloaded and sent to the shipyard to get repaired. That equipment had been unloaded to another temporary ship during that time. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. Now, the Bobo's fixed, ready to hit the seas again. So the Marine Corps requested a detachment of Marines from of different MOSs. MOS stands for Military Occupational Specialty, right? And the MOSs that corresponded with the equipment that's on board. They requested it for the 2nd Marine Division, and within that number requested, they requested 7 Marines from 2nd Tank Battalion, 2nd Marine Division, which included 3 mechanics and 4 tank crewmen. Myself, along with both sergeants at the time, Sergeant Joseph Estep and our dear friend, Sergeant Donald C. May Jr., were among those Marines. Now, those days, they were filled with camaraderie, with laughter, and the spirit of adventure. Now, there's some stories I could tell, but, you know, just put it this way. I can't go ahead and tell these stories, some of these stories, but just put it this way. I wasn't a preacher all my life. You get what I mean? So, that being said, now speaking of memories, let's fast forward to a few weeks ago when I received an unexpected call from Joe. See, we hadn't spoken since 2007, but that call was a testament to the enduring bonds forged in our youth, right? For hours we talked, laughed, and we shared stories. In his own Estep fashion, slapping me in the back of the head, all the way, even though he was in Ohio and I'm in New Mexico. You know what I mean? Good old Estep fashion, he gave me words of encouragement. Expressing his pride in my endeavors. Telling me that even though we haven't talked, he was still keeping track on me and keeping an eye on me and making sure that I was living right. And he told me how proud he was as my life was progressing. And little did I know that this call would hold an even deeper significance today. Now I cherish that phone call. Joe wasn't a man of overt religious faith, okay? So, but his life was a sermon in itself. In 2 Timothy 2:3, we read, "Endure hardship with us like a good soldier of Christ Jesus." See, Joe embodied this spirit, facing not only the hardships of military service, but also a battle with cancer. His strength and his resilience were a testament to his character. And as we pay tribute to Joe, we must also honor another hero who shared our journey. Staff Sergeant Donald Charles May Jr., right? His dedication to service and camaraderie left an indelible mark on us all. Staff Sergeant May made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation on March 25th, 2003 in Iraq, crossing the Euphrates River. So, in Joshua 1:9, we find guidance. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Let these words inspire us to embrace the qualities that define Joe and Don's lives. You know what? Before we go, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a couple more stories. Right? Here we are, Road to Spain again. And again, we had 14 days between the time we offloaded the temporary ship and unloaded the Bobo. Before the Bobo came back from the shipyard, we had 14 days to kill. The colonel that was in charge of us, the charge of the detachment, was like, "Listen, guys, I don't care how you come back in the morning. I don't care. The drinking lamp's lit, off-base duty is lit, or off-base limo is lit. You know what I mean? I don't care how you come back in the morning. As long as you're back on the dock, green on green, ready for PT at 06. I don't care if your brothers are holding you up in formation and you're puking all over yourselves, as long as you're here." Right? So that being said, we took off and we went off base limo, and we were there during a time called La Feria. It was the whole month-long fair. It was a big fair, big old celebration. I'm not really sure what they're celebrating, but it was kind of fun. Me, Don, and Joe were out there and having a good time. Every day we're out there, just hanging out together and drinking and picking up chicks and all that good stuff. But like I said, I do apologize for y'all, but I wasn't always a preacher, you know what I mean? So this is part of the things that I've experienced, and I just gotta tell these stories just because I'm honoring my brother, you know what I mean? So I have to forgive me for some of these stories. But anyways, long story short, so going forward, we had a good time, and what had happened was a detachment of British Royal Marines rolled in, and we were at the bar. We were having a good time, and it was me, Don, and Joe, and just sitting back, just chilling and drinking. And then these British Royal Marines come in, and they were just off the chain, man. They was off the hook. They're good guys, don't get me wrong. But man, a couple of them were just a little cuckoo out there. They say U.S. Marines are crazy, man. Those guys are crazier. You know what I mean? So, but anyhow, so one of them had the audacity to get in Estep's face, and excuse my language, he tells Estep, United States Marines are beep. You know what I mean? I'll let you fill in the word, right? So, bro, I've never seen anybody go from 0 to death row that fast than that moment, man. And freaking Estep come flying out of that daggone chair off that table and ready to hook and jab, bro. And and so freaking of course, you know, good old Marine Corps fashion, you never leave a brother behind, right? So of course he had May and myself on either side of him. You know what I mean? Ready to throw down with these guys, with these British Royal Marines. But anyways, thank God we didn't end up having a fight, but we ended up getting squashed and taking care of it. But yeah, it was some good times, man. Good times. Just to give a little insight on Joe. And man, sure gonna miss that old fart. You know what I mean? He's a good man, good mentor. You know what I mean? He always pushed you to do your best and always put your best foot forward, you know what I mean? Never half-assing it. Always doing everything that you can to accomplish the mission. And always taking care of your brothers too. That's one thing he instilled in me. But anyhow, I could tell more stories, but I think that's about it. We're gonna go into the rest of them are a little more crazier, but yeah. Well, one time, here's another one. Here's another one. All right, you twist my arm, I'll tell you another one. So same deployment, right? And so some reason, if those of you that are listening, if some of you, you know, if certain people are listening that know this story, I'm not going to tell this Dawn story. I'm not going to tell that one, but it's crazy. It's funny. So Dawn ended up taking off on Estep and I one night. We all went out together, and then they got me blitzed, they got me drunk, they got me going. You know what I mean? They got me. Man, they introduced me to a drink called a Flame Lamborghini. Oh man, that thing knock your socks off, right? And it's crazy. But anyways, they got me blitzed, and then so me and Joe Joe and Don, and then Don ends up doing his thing, and he takes off and tells us he's gonna meet us. He'll meet us in the morning, and all right, good to go. And then so me and Estep hang out a little bit longer, and I get a little bit too blitzed. So Estep's like, man, hey, we got to go back to the ship, bro. We got to go back to the ship. So, and so that being said, freaking, we had to take this. The ship wasn't docked, right? So it was just right off the coast, right, just right there. And so we had to take this little boat out there to the ship, and then we had to climb up the freaking. We had to climb up a little, what do you call it? A rope ladder, right? It's not fun when you're drunk, you know what I mean? So anyhow, so we're on our way to the ship. We're on this little boat going out to the ship, and I'm standing right there. Joe's standing right next to me, and I'm standing there on next, like at the end. And I look down, and I see in the wake, there's the wake, the water breaks, you know, the wake, you know. And I just look down, I'm like, ooh, water. And I freaking reach down. I wanted to touch the water and almost fall in, right? And so Joe, of course, has to Estep has to freaking catch me. And so he couldn't think of nothing else, but he reaches down, grabs me by my belt from the backside, grabs me by my belt, and yanks me back up it keeps me from falling into the water. You know, so it's like, it's just kind of funny, man. We actually talked about that the other day when he called me, and Lord have mercy, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Anyhow, so all right, so you know what? So we pay tribute to Joe. You know, let's remember the good times. Let's remember all that and the stuff that he taught us and the stuff he's instilled in us, and we can learn from him. And you know, and I'm at a loss for words right now. So Joshua 1:9, we find guidance. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Let these words inspire us to embrace the qualities that define Joe and Don's lives. And so as we conclude this deeply reverent tribute, I want to leave you with this message. Joe Estep and Donald May's legacies aren't just memories. They're challenges for us all. Let's honor their memories by living our lives with the same courage, same honor, and the unwavering commitment that they displayed. Though Estep wasn't a religious man, his life exemplifies values that, like integrity, loyalty, and courage. His example shows us that principles and values can unite us across different walks of life. So as we honor these extraordinary men, we do want to extend our deepest condolences, our love, and our support to their families. Their loss is felt by all who knew them, and we stand with these families, especially in this time of remembrance. In closing, let's embody the courage, honor, and commitment demonstrated by Joseph Elmer Estep and Donald Charles May Jr. Their stories continue to inspire and guide us. Until next time, my brothers, keep believing, keep striving, and continue to live a life full of faith and fortitude. God bless.
Colgren, wherefore many more have gone. Lay me down in the Colgren, many more have gone. When they come, I will stand my ground, stand my ground. I'll never be afraid. Thoughts of him take away my fear, sweat and blood, hide my veil a tear. Shall I see the sun? For I fell to a gentleman's gun. Lay me down in the Colgren, many more have gone. Lay me down in the Colgren, wherefore many more have gone. Many more have gone.
lost my partner Reese, and ever since that day, life been crazy, man. I really ain't had too much to say. Sometimes I want revenge, but that's the devil's way. Or acting not, so I just get down on my knees and pray. I ask him lead the way, but if it gets no better, just know I tried. Consider this my last letter to my fans, to my friends, to my family. When I leave this earth, I hope y'all all remember me. R.I.P. shout out Quinn, rest in peace, preacher man. I'ma hold it down, but swear to God I miss you, man. R.I.P. you all, we miss you, Franco. Freaky T, he took it hard, I feel his pain though.
So many cry, I see so many down for nothing at all. Giving their life up for something so small. I say so many tears over so many years we can never get back. This ain't life, it was living in a past that's our way.
Everybody, man, you gotta wake up and thank God every day for living, man. You never know when you gonna go, you understand? R.I.P. to all my homies, man. I love y'all, miss you, man. We gonna come join you one day, homie.
It's got to be hope in my future.
Tell 'em,
Pain in my past.
they don't see it though.
Yes,
They don't
will.
see it though.
But I always